Yo, what's going on, guys and girls? My name is Darius and I'm coming back at you with a brand new video. Now, last drift video I made did amazing, and I said that if it does well, I'll make another drift related video. So today, I'm bringing you guys my 5 tips and tricks that will help you get better at drifting in Forza Horizon 4. Now, this video is targeted to people who want to learn how to drift or feel that they struggle with drifting. If you're more considered advanced, this may not be for you. But before we get into it, I'm begging you guys to head over and drop a follow on my Twitch channel. I stream there every single weekday and play a multitude of games. I love chatting with you guys, and so many funny and great moments happen over there, and I really want to experience them with you guys. But with that out of the way, let's just get on with the video. So for the first tip, we have something that's super simple, but something that will help out the rooks, like, significantly. And that is location. Now, what do I mean by that? Allow me to explain. On the Forza map, developers thought it would be a cool idea to add these slow-ass cars that drive the speed limit and brake for no reason. Some call these unusual vehicles NPCs, or AI. For the video purposes, we'll call them NPCs. Now, these NPCs are savage. They will mess up your drift transitions and wait, there are locations on the Forza Horizon map that these NPCs do not exist. These allow amazing locations for you to drift and learn the basics. The first spot I recommend is here. This is a little figure 8, I love it, it's great for learning. Here, you can just learn throttle land transitions. Super good track and really fun during the winter. Next is right here, at the Horizon Festival. This little PR stunt will teach you how to hold your drift. This may require a little more horsepower than usual, but it is a really good spot to practice and counter oversteer. Last is right here. I use this spot in the video, actually right now. Super simple and teaches you how to avoid walls while staying close to it. That's it for number 1, a really solid and useful tip. Let's go ahead and get on to the next. So coming in for the number 2 tip, and that is your tires. Tires are crucial. You don't use race tires for off-roading, as well as you don't use off-roading tires for drifting. That may make no sense at all, but basically, you need the right tires. Now, I always depend on my amount of horsepower. If I'm anywhere from 300 to 600 horsepower, I'll use street tires. If I'm above that, I'll use sport tires. I rarely use race for drifting because I don't tend to drift past 700 horsepower. So I'm always using street/sport. Tuning them is pretty simple. Really actually that simple. Ready? All I do is just leave it. 90% of the time I'll just leave my tires where it's at because I'm too lazy to just mess with it. But sometimes I do tune them. So I usually slightly increase the rear pressure by like 2, and I'll decrease the front from 2 to 5 psi. Really super simple tip, but some of you people use the wrong tires. So check your treads, boys. Let's get on to the next. So, for the number 3 tip, it's kind of the same category as tires, but it's not. It's in the upgrade section, and that is power. Horsepower is a significant factor in drifting, and the one question that I always get is, how do I know how much horsepower I need? Now, I created a series of questions that you should ask yourself before you go to build your drift car. Number 1, do I want it to be easy to control? If you answered yes, then consider using a low horsepower build. Anywhere from 3 to 500 would be relatively easy to use and learn. Next question, are there tight corners on my track? If there are tight bends and corners that are really small, you should consider using a low horsepower build for smooth and clean transitions. The third question is, are there long turns and bends on the track? If you have a super long turn that you need to hold out for the full duration, you're gonna need some horsepower to get you through that whole bend. In reality, for turns like this, you'd want anything from 600 to 700 horsepower, depending on how long the bend is. Now, last question. Is this for a PR stunt? If you answered yes to that question, ignore everything I just said and download a crazy 1500 horsepower tune for a Formula Drift car. Now, I recommend the Viper. The Viper used to be a beast back in the day. I don't know what's good now. But PR stunts are based on speed and how long you hold your drift for. So just go balls to the walls, 1500 horsepower, maybe all-wheel drive, and get yourself some points. Let's get on to the next tip. So the fourth tip I am bringing to you guys today is a little something called Drift Club. Now, prior to Drift Club, I had no idea how to drift. Knew nothing about it and didn't care for it because I was bad. But thanks to Drift Club, I learned to drift. Now, it wasn't like I magically knew what I was doing on the first mission. It took maybe 2 or 3 and a couple of rage quits, but after that I was able to take turns and angles smooth like butter. I know that Drift Club does provide higher horsepower cars, but that's because it's based on time. It's a race. You have to make it to point B in X minutes with a certain amount of score. If you don't get the 3 stars. But here's a plus about Drift Club. If you're new to drifting, I do recommend to it, that's a positive. It'll teach you how to drift. But you get a free BMW that you can tune for drifting and do whatever you want with it. Beautiful BMW, by the way. Here, I'll pop it up on screen. It's that one. Okay, the last tip I have for you guys in this video is to watch clips. You learn so much from others, it's unbelievable. Once you learn the basics and the controls, you can pretty much do anything you want. Want to do a 360? Watch a clip of someone doing it a few times, and as they're doing it, tell yourself what buttons they're pressing as they execute the 360. After that, do it yourself. I love watching drift clips and taking them and incorporating them in my style. This also goes for any game as well. Watching people you know are better than you is actually really helpful. Not only that, but you're possibly helping out smaller creators. It's very, very nice to, just watch and criticize others, but positive criticism, you know what I'm saying? Be nice, watch others' clips, and you can learn a lot from others. That's basically what I'm trying to ramble off. But otherwise, that's going to conclude it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something and it helps you guys out. If it did, please consider liking the video, and while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. If you guys want more drift related videos, let me know. But otherwise, it's been Aries, and I'm out.